Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thank you so much for watching and checking it out. Send your questions to Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. As always, today I'm not answering a question. I'm going to be talking about something that I think is important that I was just reminded of recently. As a research site clinic owner, director, study coordinator, principal investigator, sub-I, whatever you are at your clinic, okay, you got to be on the lookout for study participants whose primary motivation is to get paid compensation. And of course, I'm referring mostly to the phase 2 through 4 studies, because in phase 1 studies there is really no other motivation other than making money. So that's not in this topic. This is for phase 2 through 4. So oftentimes what I've seen work best is when the PIs have a private practice and they refer their own patients to the study who they think may be good candidates, may be interested in the study, may do well because of the study, a whole number of reasons. Okay, those usually when you get study participants from a doctor, preferably your own PI, but other doctor referrals are good also. You don't really need to worry about this, and the compensation is kind of an afterthought. Okay, but sometimes, especially when you run ads, on Craigslist, you might get people calling up your clinic trying to participate in your study, and their real motivation, their real driving force for them is compensation. And sometimes they even fake their symptoms to try to get in the study. So you really got to be on the lookout for this. I've heard cases of one site where a subject was screen failed, so this person did not come back. She came back for the randomization visit, but she was screen failed at the randomization visit, and she was throwing like a tantrum because she wasn't going to get paid for that visit because, of course, she didn't qualify at screening visit. So you're going to get situations like this often, and just be careful, be cautious when enrolling people whose first words out of their mouth are, how much does the study pay? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Look, I'm a full-fledged, full-blooded capitalist. I do clinical research because it pays my bills, and it's going to help me build several organizations and catapult me to hopefully buy the Clippers. And I'm skipping a whole bunch of industries that I'm going to be involved in between. So I'm all about making money. But when it comes to clinical research, it really is our responsibility as researchers to make sure that we're choosing the right subjects and not just letting anyone who calls come in, or scheduling anyone who calls for a screening visit. Really try to find out, is their primary driving force getting paid, getting the $50 stipend or whatever it is. And psychiatric trials get all the flack for this. There was a negative article written about how psychiatric studies recruit homeless people. Guess what? The stuff I'm hearing is not from psychiatric sites. It's from sites that do studies like asthma, pain, constipation. So it's generally not the CNS, the psychiatric trials, you have to worry about in these cases. Contrary to popular opinion in the media, it's generally these general medicine studies where the symptoms are more subjective, like asthma, although for asthma they have various tests where you can measure the severity of one's lung capacity, but subjective things like constipation. So really be on the lookout for those, and usually sponsors don't pay you for screen failures after a certain amount because they try to avoid situations just like this where a site will just basically screen anyone who calls, only to find out later that most of them don't qualify. So be very careful. Nothing wrong with someone who's looking to get paid or get some compensation out of a study, but to avoid problems, really make sure that they have a chance of qualifying for the trial before you bring them in, and really make sure that they're not trying to hustle you out of $50 and sometimes more like this person who was throwing a tantrum because she wasn't getting paid for her screen failure visit. So just something to think about for us researchers out there. Let me know your thoughts on this. Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com, and thank you guys for watching.